Hello friends, in this video we will see how to set up virtual network peering in Azure Portal. If the two virtual machines are in different virtual network and wants to communicate with each other using private IP, then we need to set up virtual network peering. One virtual machine having a virtual network, second virtual machine which is in different virtual network. We need to set up the virtual network peering. This will connect the two or more virtual networks. Let's start our lab. Sign into Azure Portal. Open the browser, search for Azure Portal, or click on the link azure.microsoft.com. Click sign in. Enter your Azure ID. Enter your password. Click yes. Once you are logged into the Azure Portal, go to all services. Click virtual network. Click create. Under the basics tab, select the subscription. Select the resource group. We'll create new resource group here. Give a name for virtual network. Suppose this is in development, dev vnet 1. Select the region. Click next. Under the security tab, leave the setting as default. Go to IP addresses tab. Enter the address range for the development vnet. I'll go with 10.0.0.0 and set up the subnet. Click next. Click next. Click create. Yeah, one vnet is created, virtual network. We'll go again back to all services. We'll create another virtual network for production environment. Click create. Under the basics tab, select the subscription, resource group, give a name for the virtual network. I'll give production prod vnet. Select the region, click next. Under the security tab, leave the setting as default. Click next. Under the IP addresses tab, here you need to select a different address range. Should not overlap with the previous address space, otherwise we cannot set up the peering. So I will give 10.10.0.0 and click add a subnet. For the address space 10.10.0.0/16, is the /24 is the subnet. Click add. Click next. Click next. After validation, click create. Here you can see the deployment is in progress. Your deployment is complete. Okay, so the second virtual network is got created. Go to all services. Now we'll create a virtual machines and assign the virtual network. Click virtual machines. Click create. Select Azure Virtual Machine. Under the basic tab, quickly we'll create the virtual machine. So under the subscription, select your subscription. Resource group, select the resource group. Give a name for virtual machine. This I will give dev VM1. Select the region where you want to deploy the virtual machine. Availability options, leave it as default. Security type, no changes. For the image, I'll go with Windows Server 2016 data center. And the size of the virtual machine, we'll select standard B1S. Give the username and password. Confirm the password. Allow the port for the RDP 3389. Click next. Will use as default for the disk, operating system disk. Click next. Under networking tab, we'll select the first the virtual network. Like I've created dev, so I am assigning the dev virtual network for the dev VM. Leave other settings default. Click next. No changes here in the management, monitoring, advanced, tags. All the settings will leave as default. Go to review and create. After validation completes, click create. Now here deployment is in progress. We'll go to all services again and create another virtual machine. Second one. Click create. Select Azure Virtual Machine. Under Basics tab, select the subscription. Select the resource group. Give a name for virtual machine. I'll give production VM1. VM2. Select the region where you want to deploy the virtual machine. Availability options leave as default. Security type no change. Image will select operating system Windows Server 2016. Select the size of the VM. I'll go with standard B1S. Give the username and password. Confirm the password. Allow the RDP port 3389 for remote desktop connection. Click next. Under the disks, we'll leave the default setting. Only operating system disk is required. Click next. Here under networking tab, we'll select a different virtual network. This is the production Vnet. Other settings no changes, leave as default. Click next. No changes on the management, monitoring, advanced and tag. We'll leave the settings as default. Go to review and create. Validation passed. Click create. So we have created a development virtual machine and assigned the development virtual network, and we have created a production virtual machine and assigned the production virtual network. So these two virtual machines are having the different virtual networks. Deployment is in progress. We'll not set up the peering right now. We'll first connect to the virtual machine and see whether we are going to communicate or not. Go to all services, click on virtual machines. This is the development VM and this is the production. So I'll go with development VM. Click on connect. Under native RDP, select download the RDP file. Open the RDP file. Click connect. Give the username and password. Click yes. Now I have logged into the Windows Server 2016. I will disable the firewall here, Windows Firewall. Okay, go to local server under server manager. Click on Windows Firewall. We are going to test the ping command. So by default ICMP is blocked. So I will disable the firewall. Turn off Windows Firewall. Turn here. Click OK. This is for the lab purpose. Done. Similarly, I will go to Azure Portal and connect the second virtual machine. Click connect. Under native RDP, select. Download the RDP file. Open the RDP file. We'll take the remote to the second virtual machine. Give username and password. Click yes. The Windows Server 2016 is getting loaded. We'll disable the Windows Firewall here also. Here under server manager, local server, Windows Firewall, turn Windows Firewall off. Close. Now we are having two virtual machines which are on two different virtual networks. So I'll go to first virtual machine. Here we'll open the command prompt. We'll check the host name. This is the development virtual machine. We'll see the IP for this one, the private IP. This is 10.0.0.4. Similarly, we'll go to the second virtual machine. Here open the command prompt. Check the host name. Here this is the production virtual machine. The IP address we are getting 10.10.0.4. so if I try to ping the first virtual machine 10.0.0.4, so we can see here there is no response from the first virtual machine. So we cannot connect if a virtual machine is on the different virtual network. You can see from first virtual machine as well. If I try to ping 10.10.0.4, this is the second virtual machine I am pinging from the first. See, here also I am not getting a response. So there is no communication between the two virtual machines. They are on the two different virtual networks. I have disabled the firewall as well. So we need to set up the virtual network peering in order to start communicating these two virtual machines. So go to Azure Portal, go to all services, click on virtual network. Here select any virtual network. And under the settings below for the first virtual network there is a peering option. Select it, add, give a name for the peering link. I will give the link between dev and production link. Allow the traffic access. Will give another name in the reverse way, like production dev link. Two-way traffic. In the both way they need to communicate. Virtual network resource manager, this is the subscription is free. Now we need to select the virtual network. I have to select the different virtual network. It cannot be paired on the same virtual network. We need to select a different. So I am pairing the dev vnet to the different virtual network, production vnet 1, and this is the two-way traffic, and add it. The validation is going on. Added virtual network peering. You can see here a link is established between the two virtual networks. Now go to the first virtual machine. See here, you can see the response we are getting a response from the another virtual machine. You can go to the other virtual machine as well. Here also you can see the reply. So there is a communication going between these two virtual machines. Okay, I hope you find this video informative. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.